Them. When you see, what did I tweet out earlier about the, gosh, I'll get to that here in a second, but every system that we have, Fenort.
Yep.
Happy Friday.
All right, we may or may not have a backup YouTube account that is now up and running.
Alrighty. Oh, it's the Epic Times. Here's the headline. This is, how in the hell? All right. U.S. court upholds dismissal of lawsuit against NSA on state secrets grounds. U.S. Federal Appeals Court has upheld the dismissal of a lawsuit by the Wikimedia Foundation, which runs Wikipedia, that challenged the National Security Agency's mass interception and searching of Americans' international internet communications. In a divided ruling on Wednesday, the Fourth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals said that the lawsuit must be dismissed after the government invoked the state secrets privilege, which meant that a full exploration of the issue in a court would damage national security. What do you do? So they can bend us over. They can do whatever in the nick that they want. And then when you go to sue them, state secret, sorry. By the way, you owe us court fees. And suddenly you're broke. Do I want to move to Sweden?
Why not? Let's do it.
I mean, where else is there to go? That's the problem. I'm not so sure. I'm really frustrated. Dr. Mojo Martian. Oh, isn't that sweet? Real Ron Phillips has a pet rat.
Mm-hmm.
Does she? I've never seen her in person. Does her little head shake?
Yep, she all the time.
And you go,
yeah. Yeah, so when we come back on the radio, I'll make sure everybody knows we have that backup account. If you're looking for YouTube and you can hear me now on any of the other video platforms, we have a YouTube backup account. Just look up Mojo50 or Mojo50 Radio Backup.
Day 550 of 15 days to flatten the curve. Military contractors have raked in 4.4.
Sweden, though, has like their COVID cases have plummeted.
Spending in that 20 years was 14.1 trillion. So defense contractors have got 31% of the spending for the last 20 years. Oh, I bet there's more than just a little shady stuff in there. Mitch McConnell said he will not vote to raise the debt ceiling because of the reckless, out-of-control, massive overspending by the Democrats. The Democrats continue to talk about expanding or packing the Supreme Court, but Speaker Pelosi says it's not political. Right, Nancy, and water isn't wet. Join me in the Liberty Lighthouse Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Mojo 50 Radio. If we weren't so bad.
Puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. Mojo 50.
Mothership has landed.
All right, Squatching Duck on the Twitter says, my favorite part of the show is listening to Brad audibly mumble as he struggles for a common word for 5 minutes.
It happens more times than this.
Did I mention he can kiss a good man's ass too? Dang it, Chris says at least triple taxation, income tax, sales tax, income taxed again. That's what always pisses me off about the selling a car. It gets taxed right on down every time it's sold. It's already, you paid sales tax on it when it's brand new off the lot. But then they've got you over a barrel because you have to go get it registered.
That's correct.
When you buy it as a used car. That's how they bent you over that way. They got you in a corner. And again, yeah, we're all paying, I would say, at least our fair share of taxes. But when you turn around and you look at these asshats in Washington and the national debt and what they've done and what they do all the time with these freaking this new $3.5 trillion budget, and you look at the shit they want to spend our money on, yeah, I'm looking for ways to not pay as much as I possibly can. I would think every human being is. Unless you just, and if you're one of those people who thinks the federal government is doing a fabulous job, then send extra money to them. Mm-hmm. I love this guy with his dog.
I come home and I pet my dog. You see, petting your dog is one of the most relaxing things you can possibly do. Okay, we're done.
Jeez.
Again, that's in the laughing compilation that sent out a little earlier. If you didn't see the little girl petting the cat, I'll set this visually up for you.
Sticking her finger in the cat's ass. Yeah, that.
She's on the grass. She got the little cat there. Looks like Morris the cat, and obviously mom is videotaping the entire little event.
I wanted you to scratch his butt. No, not like that, Sophia. Oh my Jesus, y'all! This is what I have to deal with. Like, how did I just get that on film?
Like, how did I just get that?
There's a little girl like, oh, okay, I'll scratch the cat's butt. And she just like digs in there. Mom, no, not that way.
And then wipes it in the grass. Oh, got cat shit on it. For those that are interested, we do have a YouTube backup account. So just go search Mojo 50 Radio Backup. Not as many people have subscribed to the backup account. So I have to say it over the air.
Right.
You're welcome, YouTube.
Spread the word.
Yeah.
Spread the word. I'm just going to play this one too because I think it's funny. The guy trying to do the yoga poses in his backyard, and the dog
is just humping the shit out of him every
time he gets into a position. The dog is humping the hell out of him. I sat there last night again when I was trying to go back to sleep and couldn't. And I finally go get the computer and you sit there and you watch this, you're laughing. Just that and car crash compilations. Idiots on the road.
Yeah.
There's just something horrifyingly gratifying about watching these idiots.
You know what I love to watch? The police chases that where they have to pit maneuver them or karma, those karma.
Yeah,
things.
Instant karma.
Instant karma.
Those are good. Those are good. Oh, all right. Speaking of good, there is a little good news out of Washington. Oh, wait. Did I say I was going to mention something? What did I say? What did I say I was going to? Was I going to remind some after the top? What did I? The intern didn't remind me, so I don't know what the.
There is that.
Somebody get Dan Andros on the phone. He'll remember. The Durham report may actually be coming out, but I doubt it. Special counsel John Durham will ask a grand jury to indict former DNC and Clinton campaign lawyer Michael Sussman for lying to the FBI, according to the New York Times. False statement charges relate to September 19th, 2016 meeting between FBI lawyer James Baker and Sussman, where Sussman lied to the FBI by falsely claiming the Trump organization was communicating with Alpha Bank. So this would be the precursor to going to the FISA court, right?
Yeah.
To get the warrants to start tapping everybody's communications. So this would be the ball that got the other balls rolling. But again, who knows what the hell's going to happen? And I say that because the Epoch Times today, and I put this out there on the Twitterverse, the Epoch Times front page story from today's the 17th. Yeah, today. Yep. Headline, U.S. court upholds dismissal of lawsuit against the NSA on state secret grounds. U.S. Federal Appeals Court has upheld the dismissal of a lawsuit by the Wikimedia Foundation. They run Wikipedia. The lawsuit challenged the National Security Agency's mass interception and searching of Americans' international internet communications. In a divided ruling on Wednesday, the Fourth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals said that the lawsuit must be dismissed after the government invoked the state secrets privilege, which meant that a full exploration of the issue in a court would damage national security. So that right there tells me that the old saying, can't sue City Hall. They'll just bankrupt you. And this is what's going to happen here. Anything that, unless, of course, you're Hunter Biden, in which case you're bulletproof. But every department of the government, every agency, think about what a fuster-cluck the FBI is. Remind me again what they do. I mean, aside from, and as Politibunny pointed out, no, it was Julie Kelly.
If you're watching the freaking the gymnastics, USA
Right.
Gymnastics right now go after the FBI, it's humorous. These guys dropped a lot of balls in the last few years.
Yeah, they're inept as hell. And I've talked to people at the FBI, and they say, yes, it's a clown show inside there. Are there good agents? Of course. It's like the TSA. There's some good TSA people. There's one in Palm Springs. I know it. Well, there's some good people, but the agency as a whole is the joke. And the NSA, let's remember this, the NSA was created in secret. Which president did that? The Congress, look up the history of the NSA. You'll find that Congress didn't even know that the NSA existed until it turned out on a budget line somewhere that it had a bigger budget than the CIA back in the 50s, I think it was. And it was like, wait, who are these? What's the NSA? The NSA. So the NSA, state secrets. Again, there was a time in my life when I thought, I agree. There's some things we as the public, we don't need to know because, they're these people in Washington, they're trying to keep us safe. I don't think that anymore. I don't trust them. I don't think they give a crap about us. As Bob Seger once said, I'm not a number, but they think we are. And Bob Seger retired, and you can't go to a damn Bob Seger concert anymore. What the hell is life worth living? Son of a... Did you see the UFO video I tweeted?
I did.
What the hell was that?
It was, well, here's the thing. I watched it last night when you sent it to me.
Yeah. Did you get the dick pic?
No.
I'll send it again.
No. So I watched it. Here's the problem that I have with that video. Mm-hmm. So anytime you're filming a video that has a UFO in it, do you not follow the UFO? If it's a real video, you're going to follow the UFO. But this one didn't follow the UFO. Watch what happens.
It's right there kind of under the wing, right?
Yeah.
This is over Poland in December 2013. And but for those of you, again, listening, it's the shot out of an airplane window, and you can see the wing of the plane, as you typically would. And then, I don't know, it's hard to tell scale, but below the wing, there's an object, appears to be floating or flying along with the plane, maybe just a little bit slower, which I found odd. And it looks like a chunk of coal.
But right, the camera never moves from that shot that it's on right now.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
even when that thing comes off goes off the screen right on screen right, it goes off the screen. And so that's what makes me think this is obviously a faked video.
It does move oddly. It looks, it looks like a, it looks like a duck made of poop.
A duck made of poop.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It does. So when you get to, like right there, it looks like a duck made of poop. Tell me that doesn't look like a duck made of poop. It's a poop duck.
It's a poop duck.
Does that not look like a poop duck?
Well, okay.
It does. It looks like a poop duck. You can see and he's facing the duck is facing camera left. It's a poop duck.
It's a poop
If you
duck,
can't see,
yeah.
can you not see that's a poop duck?
Okay.
Do you see the poop duck?
I do not see the poop duck.
Look closer.
Because I've already seen the UFO.
Well, of course it's a UFO. It's flying. It's unidentified, and it's some sort of an object. I think we've covered that.
Debbie Treadway says feces foul.
Thank you.
I do have a caller on the line for you, Brad.
Is it my love interest from New York?
Maybe.
Maybe. Hello, caller. Go ahead. Are you fully clothed?
I'm halfway clothed.
It is.
It is your love interest.
It is my love interest. Cal,
And only my better half isn't clothed.
how are you? Are you doing all
Welcome on
right?
half.
Welcome back, buddy.
Thanks, guys. I'm doing, I'm okay, one day at a time kind of thing.
Freaks you out, doesn't it?
It definitely grounds you and makes you, I'll say this much, I have no more patience for any bullshit. I just don't give a flying F
Well, good for you.
at all.
Yep.
For those of you who do not know, and Cal announced this on his Instagram account, it's been about a month now, right? Your father passed away?
Yeah, just over a month, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's why.
Or actually,
Cal-
wait, I'm trying to think of it. Actually, dates all mix up. Something like that. Yeah, about a month.
I could not tell you right now the year my dad died. I remember it because I got the phone call 4:30 in the morning.
The Middle Ages are hard to remember.
Thank you.
So I'm not,
Boy, you can both kiss
not going to
my-
give you any grief over that.
That's what it is. The Middle Ages.
No, when your first parent dies, it freaks you the hell out. You know, wrong.
I do.
It does. It just
Well,
freaks out.
you and I were on the air.
Yeah.
When my dad passed away.
Yeah, and it messes
Really?
with your head.
Yeah.
Because
It just I think for me the hardest part so far is the finality of it.
yep.
You want to because I talk to my dad regularly, so you want to call him or you want to just hear from him or run something by him, and you're just like, I can't. They're not on this earth anymore. And that part kind of like that feeling of they're never, or at least for now, I don't know if you believe it in afterlife, but you're not going to talk to him again. Same thing happened when Doc died. It was just like,
Right. You got to call them. Yeah.
can't talk to him anymore.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
actually start to call them.
Especially like over this last, this shitstorm these last 2 years. You know how many times I've been like, God, I need to talk to Doc.
I know.
And I'm sure the same's going to happen when I want to talk to my dad over the next, however many years.
Our Phil Valentine, when he died, gosh, it's been a month ago too now. Johnny B, his producer, and I'd known both of them for 30 years, and I just was texting with Johnny B yesterday, and he said, it's just still surreal. I said, that feeling will not go away for at least a couple of years, probably more.
Yeah.
It messes with your whole.
I would expect.
It's just your head is just it phenorks with you, and there's just no way around it. So,
Well, yeah, your entire reality is shifted. So
yeah,
it's,
but I'm with you. I am so done with putting up with bullshit from just about every angle.
it just makes you like the pettiness of every asshole out there that says, and look at me, I'm on a tirade curse. You got me cursing more than I've ever done on it.
It's okay. You know what? Let it go.
Yeah,
I've been
don't
doing
have any
the
patience
same
for
thing.
morons and people fighting over the most ridiculous things, and I just want to live my life and be with the people that actually the people in my circle that add value. I got no time or no room for anybody else.
And us.
Okay, I'll let you guys in.
All right, well, let's play this. It'll calm everybody down.
On a trial basis.
Hi there, boys and girls. Can you say podcast? I knew you could. This week, there is another exciting episode of Cal's podcast of the week. Cal. Yeah.
And Cal's podcast of the week this week is brought to you by Romika Designs. Romika Designs, where they now have gift cards, and they can laser etch any body part that you want to send in.
That's not the case.
You have a body part that you would like laser etched, just send it to Ron Phillips.
Well, just send me the pic of the body part that you want laser engraved. And I'll let you know.
Yeah. Especially if you're hot.
It can be personalized.
Yes, it
Yes.
can. I think that's, you are a giver, Ron. You are just
Thank you.
you're a
Thank you
giver.
very much.
As is Cal. So, enough of this warm and fuzzy chit chat when we get down to what you're paid for. And by paid for, I mean what you do, for us. Without
for a sexual favor. So there's this guy. I don't know if you know about him. His name is Keith Malinek. Pretty talented guy. You might have heard of him.
We know Keith.
You might have heard of him.
Wait a second. No, I'm thinking.
I know the name probably rings a bell.
I'm thinking of Beef Ramanak, and that's a different guy. But see,
That's
there's
his
a
cousin from Cincinnati.
Okay. Yes. All right. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
So Keith has this podcast called At the Mic, and it's quite an entertaining production that the man puts together. There's a lot of effort into it. He sits down with there's a plethora of podcasts out there that are interviewing successful people and celebrities and athletes or whatever you want to hear about. But Keith sits down with the everyday guys. But these guys are no less special than your, Hollywood elite or athletes or celebrities or a-holes out there. These are actually, I feel, a little bit more genuine, real people because they're successful in their own right and they don't have the fame that these other a-holes have, but they deal with real life, but they still come through and do good and do amazing things. So Keith sits down with different people, various people, and kind of listens to the life story. Some of them are long. They're like an hour to an hour and a half a piece, but you really learn about, I guess, a real person in the world struggling probably the same things you do, and their thoughts and beliefs and their own blueprint on how they live life and the things that they've done. It's a moving podcast.
He's got some hot babes over there too.
Yep.
I'm looking at the pictures. Ben Payne,
I believe
hot.
I want to say that there was one Brad Staggs as a guest at some point, I believe.
Was that Ricky Skaggs' brother?
Brad
No,
Staggs.
that's
Oh, it's a different guy. Different guy.
Yeah.
That's you're right, and we don't give kudos enough because Keith does an amazing job. He's a really good interviewer because
he is.
He just it's very well because he's common, but it's a common man's interview, and he asks questions that he lets you get into a flow. Wow, this is starting to.
He definitely goes deep.
He does go deep.
He goes very deep. In the complete transparency, he did ask me to be on it, and
Why?
I gladly agreed.
Why would
I don't know.
Why would he want you?
I'm not exactly sure. However, he asked for 2 hours of my time. He asked for a 2-hour window. I'm like, Keith, are you saying? I mean, you're a father. You're married. You've got kids. You've got the job. When do you have a 2-hour window to just talk? Like, unless it's your job,
It's a nice.
I told him,
way to
like,
escape.
Keith, I will gladly give you, 30, 40 minutes, even an hour I'll go to. But 2 hours of it's very difficult for my life to just step away.
If you think about it, though, it's 2 hours where you're not listening to the constant blah, 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 blah.
Oh, no, but that's not the case. Within 40 minutes, 30 to 40, I will hear that knocking on the door. And whether it's like, Daddy, or my husband's like, honey, why are you getting my...
What are you doing in there? Get out here. And she slaps your arm.
Often like, if I'm not in like the vicinity of my wife for more than like 5-6 minutes, I'll always hear, honey, what are you doing? I'm like,
none of your business. Try that one.
I'm busy.
Yeah, try that.
God forbid I step away for more than 5 minutes.
Oh, he interviewed Nat.
But yes, it's very enjoyable.
Natasha. I love Natasha. Natasha Pachetta.
Yes, I love Natasha too. It's many people from our old circle that are great people on the show.
Who's Cambry Nelson? She got nice teeth. She does. She has very nice.
She's got to have Ron on there.
Look, there's somebody, Beth Cannot. Huh.
Oh, you don't want to listen to that one. She's not. You know, I hear she can be mean.
Janice Dean is on there. He did.
The porn star?
I believe so. And Ian Punnett. Ian Punnett has interesting. Whoa, look, there's Brandon Morse. So yeah, if for anybody who has not been familiar with the At the Mic podcast with Keith Malinek, it's fabulous. He does a great job, and very few people know this because the pictures are all of the people being interviewed, but he actually does it naked, which is different. It's different.
Does he know that? Does he know he does his show?
He does it to put the guest at ease.
He does, and I found it very
if
comforting.
Anything puts anyone at ease, it's naked people.
Right. I find it very comforting. I mean, it was comforting when he was doing it naked with me. Just saying.
I mean, if he's naked, if I'm naked, nobody wants to see that. I look at myself in the mirror and I feel like I want to vomit. But other people, hey, sure.
Do you find yourself avoiding mirrors?
Yes.
I
I've
do
destroyed
too.
all of them in my house. I'm like a vampire. I cannot have mirrors in the house.
I do not want to see myself in the mirror anymore. I mean, not that I ever really did.
Oh,
but it's like, I don't want to see it. I just don't.
It makes me question my wife's vision.
Right.
That she, judgment, that she actually allowed me to procreate with her.
I know.
When I see myself.
Hey, you were hotter. You were hotter
I
back
got
then.
out there on some level.
Yeah, it's really
that
weird.
That was when I had a thin liver. Now I have a pudgy liver. So.
That's when I had a thin liver.
All right. Well, we are glad you are back, and if you need anything, do not hesitate to call Ron, and he'll
absolutely. I got Ron on speed dial.
Yeah, buddy.
He'll help you out. But we love you, and we'll help you obviously any way we can, because I know it's tough, man. It f's with your mind, and that on top of the rest of the shit that's happening in the world, which I have about had enough of, and I'm actually considering moving to Sweden. There's nowhere else to go. Where do we go?
There isn't. I feel like just people are crazy all over the world. If you want to get away, just go to an island somewhere and like build your own little community. That's community of non a-holes.
Right.
That's what we need to do.
I don't, and I'm. All right. Well, thanks for that. All right, there he is. There's Cal.
Always a pleasure to leave you on a high note, guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy the
Thank
weekend.
you.
See you, buddy.
Right. Exactly. So it's good to hear from Cal.
It is good
again.
to hear from him.
I don't know why he takes all this time off. Lazy bastard. Romika Designs. That's where I was going. Did we already do the commercial? I can't remember because I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, good. RomikaDesigns.com and buy something, damn it. Get something that you want engraved with a laser, and Ron will do it for you. Simple.
Yep, I can do it.
Even a body part. But you have to send in a picture of it first. That's the funniest thing about on Hulu, there is a documentary on it's the Penis Museum. I want to say it's Norway.
But you talked about this the other day, and the fact that they don't have a human penis, or that's what they do now. Yeah.
And it actually goes to the dude that was in the States wanted to donate his before he was dead. I'm thinking, oof. And he goes to a tattoo parlor and gets the stars and stripes on it.
Yeah.
And they're showing that, like, whoa, there's something I didn't need to see. So I mean, it's kind of the same tradition. Ron will do whatever you need. John B, not the Johnny B, but John B says, always good to hear from you, Cal. Godspeed. And Melissa says, Mississippi says, Brad Staggs wants to live with ABBA. I do. Quite frankly. You know what? Even though Agnetha and Anna-Fried are what, like 107 now?
Yeah.
I'd do it. Wouldn't you? Just for the story. Just for the story. Hell, I'd do Benny and Bjorn same time. Make it a party, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You wouldn't do it, Ron. You're chicken shit. Your Daily Mojo.
A free exchange of ideas.
Clear. Who did you think was hotter, Benny or Bjorn?
I don't give a flip.
Come
Actually,
you like Benny, didn't you? You were a Benny guy.
Yeah.
Benny and the Jets. She's got electric boobs, a mohair suit, You know I read it in a magazine. Benny and the Jets. Go ahead, YouTube. Ban that. Bitches. I may need some Xanax. McDonald's reveals answer to decades-long mystery. What could it be?
What
Could it be? Oh.
What could it be?
What could it be? Is a decades-long mystery. Cameron, is it Cameron Diaz who retired, or the Charlize what's her name?
Charlize Theron.
Her. One of them retired.
One of them decided
it was
they
Cameron
were not gonna
Diaz.
do it. Yeah, I think so.
She retired from acting, and she now has a wine company. You wouldn't do that, would you? Cameron Diaz. You wouldn't
No.
get anywhere near that.
No.
Would you?
American Pride Roasters, bringing peace and love to Hey, it's Brad Staggs before his morning coffee.
I don't think that sounds like me.
After his morning coffee. Historically great coffee.
The Daily Mojo.
I think we've decided that Ron thinks Ron is a Benny guy. He thinks Benny's hotter. Let's see here. And speaking of Benny, Benny and the Jets. You got electric boobs. I'm a suit. You know I read it in a magazine. Hey.
Take that, YouTube.
Benny and the Jets. See why Elton John had to
So I was just starting to say that's Elton John.
postpone his tour?
Yeah.
Did you see? I'm not kidding. He had to postpone his tour. You know why? A hip injury.
Oh, at his age, probably happens all
hip
the
injury.
damn time.
That's where we are in this world now. We have Elton John can't tour because of a hip injury. Lord, I just don't know. And do you still run at the mic on Mojo 50? Yes, in fact,
Yes,
it's
Saturday mornings,
yep.
8 a.m. Eastern.
Hey, some good news from the alcohol front, because we were talking about Cameron Diaz retiring from acting and starting a wine company. And Ron said that every time he sees Cameron Diaz, he wants to vomit, which I don't know. Ron, you may want to check. You may be gay. You might be.
I might not be. How's that?
You have a doghouse?
Okay. Yes. Yes, I have a dog.
Every rule has an exception.
Yeah.
Bud Light next. Bud Light next is the next generation of light beer for the next generation of beer drinkers, according to the vice president of marketing for Bud Light. Well, what the hell else is he going to say? Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, we got a new beer. It's, you should try it. I mean, I think it's okay. He told CNN Business in an exclusive interview, because no one else gave a shit, that the new beer is aimed at younger consumers such as Gen Z, who are seeking out the similar nutritional makeup of hard seltzer and the flavor of beer. It's a zero-carb beer. What in the name and how in the hell do you make a zero-carb beer? Is it? I mean, seriously, Bud Light already tasted like beer-flavored water. This has got to taste like water with a hint of beer flavoring. Bud Light next. Cutting out carbs has become increasingly popular over the years because of various diet trends and changing consumer habits. The market, particularly for beer, has been flooded with low-carb varieties, but Anheuser-Busch is the first major brewer to launch a zero-carb beer.
It's not the first time we've heard that joke.
Today's consumers have options of low-calorie and low-carb products. This is another entry to have something new. Drop my damn glass for the second time. Not that I use them anyway. So Bud Light Next is out there. It's available, and it probably tastes like absolute horse piss. Coming up on Saturday, that would be tomorrow, the 18th of September, there's the big rally at the U.S. Capitol. And they are putting on a show. Let me just tell you, the federal government is putting on a show. They are putting up fencing and making sure the headlines, law enforcement taking no chances on September 18th rally at the U.S. Capitol. Federal, state, and local law enforcement remain on high alert ahead of the Justice for J6 protest outside the U.S. Capitol. Okay, and we mentioned yesterday that, in fact, they are not allowing, the organizers of the event are not allowing any pro-Trump clothing, any pro-Biden. It's not, they don't want this to be political. It's about the people who are being held in prison, who are political prisoners of this out-of-control piece of crap administration. And have been in jail, some of them, since January, for crimes like trespassing. Not one person has been charged with either treason or what's the other word? Son of a... The other word. What's the word? Insurgency, entanglement, enrichment.
Insurrection.
Insurrection.
Jeez, Brad.
I didn't sleep last night. Or apparently any other night.
Holy crap.
Maybe I have a brain tumor. You know, you're going to feel really bad about it if they discover I have a brain tumor and I'm dead in 2 weeks. You're going to feel horrible for making fun of me.
I will feel horrible, yes.
You'll finally be able to sleep late. Although intelligence suggests, there is no intelligence in Washington, suggests there will not be widespread or significant violence. Okay, let's think about the irony of this just for a second. Because remember, they weren't prepared last time for violence because they didn't think there'd be any violence, right? And I actually agree. I don't think there'll be violence this time. Although intelligence suggests there will not be widespread or significant violence. Again, getting apparently the same jackasses that gave us the last intelligence report that was wrong to give us the new intelligence report that, who knows. Federal law enforcement officials and groups that track domestic extremism, you know, those people who are just as bad as the Taliban. The people who track this domestic extremism, they told CBS News that they remain concerned about the potential for lone wolf-style violence or individual knuckleheads using the gathering to cause trouble. Or as Michelle Obama would refer to them, knuckleheads. FBI's monitoring chatter. Oh, good. We've got the FBI on the case. Don't anybody worry. The FBI's on it. We're fine. We're covered. We're good.
I'm a little frustrated by the FBI myself.
Are you? I mean, well, what in the hell was that?
The setting fell out of my ring. No, a microphone fell off the table.
Sounded like a bomb went off. The FBI is this like a sign from God? Is this
figure out what to do here?
This could be a problem.
Yeah.
Just stick it up your ass. FBI is monitoring chatter picked up on social media sites and message boards, including Telegram, Parler, and Gab. Interesting that they would name Telegram, Parler, and Gab as the message boards and social media sites that would be chattering, you know, those right-wing sites. I wouldn't. And by the way, even if you're on the left, even if you're progressive, even if you're Democrat, you should be absolutely horrified by these people being put into prison. Because, again, things have a tendency the pendulum eventually swings other ways. You don't want to give the federal government this kind of power. And again, if you do, I'm sorry, unfriend me. We can't be friends. Because at this point in time, unless you're open-minded enough to be convinced that the government is not your buddy, they are not looking out for you, you are just a useful idiot, then I don't think we have anything to talk about. Do we?
No.
Exactly what
Not at
Ron
all.
said.
Yep.
So, see, I wouldn't say really informed people are worried about the threat level from the online chatter. A federal law enforcement source familiar with the rally planning told CBS News, but they are taking no chances and giving no Fs. Out of an abundance of caution, temporary fencing is being installed around the U.S. Capitol. The U.S. Capitol Police is requesting the National Guard Quick Reaction Force to be on standby near the Capitol. The Quick Reaction Force was what they created after January 6th, right?
The QRF?
Yes. Wasn't it? Or was that already in existence?
I don't know. I mean, QRF is a term used like Navy SEALs have a QRF team, or
I have a
Benghazi's QRF team was about 6 hours away. But yeah, so I mean, that's just a standard term.
All right. Well, the Capitol and D.C. Metro Police, as well as additional officers from surrounding cities and federal agencies who have civil disturbance unit training, are being activated. Intelligence gathered to date indicates far-right extremist groups, including the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, are planning to attend the rally to demand justice for the hundreds of people who have been charged with for their alleged roles in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Let's not forget, again, they're attempting to rewrite history in some ways, because while there were windows broken and stuff got busted, there was property damage, which, par for the course, they lied about the amount of damage that was done initially. What they said, like 30 million?
Yeah.
And then it turned out it's like 1.5. I'm not suggesting that's okay. But again, they're also, in their narrative for this, they're saying, well, bad apples could be infiltrating this crowd. No shit, Sherlock. That's what we said about the last gathering. That there were some people in there who were trying to stir up trouble. The Department of Defense is reviewing the Capitol Police's request for the National Guard to be on standby for the rally. A department official and a congressional source familiar with the request told CBS News the plan calls for the Guard to be ready at the nearby D.C. Armory. The congressional source said, "I don't think they'll need the Guard," one congressional source familiar with the intelligence said. I love all these anonymous sources. The USCP, that group of pussies who have the four that were testifying in front of the whatever the hell group Nancy Pelosi put together. How they were terrified. I'm sorry. I just have no use for those people. They've asked the Department of Defense for the ability to receive National Guard support should the need arise. Earlier, officials said they expect about 700 people to attend Saturday's rally. That estimate is holding solid. What I'm most worried about and still worry about is the threat that we do not know about. Hold on a minute. Let me read that again. What I'm most worried about and still worried about is the threat that we do not know about. Why?
Yeah, they're worried about what they don't know.
Why? Who would say something like that? It's a retired FBI agent. Huh. He spent 23 years, this Thomas O'Connor. Father Thomas O'Connor. Father Thomas O'Connor of the FBI spent 23 years on a joint terrorism task force in Washington, D.C. We have to be over. We have to deal for the worst case scenario and hope for the best case scenario. We have to deal. What the hell does that even mean? Does this guy, did he go to Biden school? We have to deal for the worst case scenario and hope for the best case scenario. Can this guy not come up with the right word for what he's looking for? Shut your mouth. According to law enforcement sources, intelligence suggests that potential incidents at tomorrow's rally could be similar. The isolated fights seen at demonstrations attended by Proud Boys and Oath Keepers in late 2020, rather than the violence displayed during the January 6th riot. Why? Because your inside peeps who you had hired to create the kind of violence that we saw on January 6th aren't going to be hired this time? Maybe that's how you know? I think they're letting a few cats out of the bags here.
Mm-hmm.
In a memo sent to Capitol Hill on Wednesday, Capitol Police and the Senate Sergeant at Arms wrote they continue to monitor and prepare for the permitted demonstration activity tomorrow. Members and staff should expect demonstration activity and potential for street closures to impact access to the U.S. Capitol complex. Youth, any predictions on whether or not AOC will be terrified that she's about to get raped?
Well, yes, but then again, if she had the ability to exit the town and didn't, then we'll know the truth.
It's on her.
Yep.
The memo also told members the inner perimeter fencing around the Capitol Square will be installed. I guess it has been installed. Capitol Police said they expect the fencing will come down after the rally on Sunday. Again, I applaud these people for putting this rally together because the political prisoners being held, and again, they're being charged with things like being in a federal building after hours or whatever without permission, even though we have video footage and thousands more hours exist that they will not release for whatever reason. Why wouldn't they release video footage?
Well, only if it goes against their narrative, but
Right.
What is the video footage of? Being invited in by the police?
But who knows? We can't see it, but I would suggest that probably that is what we would see.
Dude, the cops knew that these people were going to get in trouble the minute they stepped away from those barriers and said, come on in.
Yep.
They knew they were going to get in trouble.
This is just, again, they're playing guerrilla tactics, which are very effective. Gotta hit credit where credit is due. They are being subversive little guerrillas, not the cute kind. And they're doing a good job of it. They're doing a good job of, again, making people who are frustrated with the farce of an election in November, who are frustrated with that, who are looking for, again, they were trying to do it the right way, quote unquote. Go to Washington, have a march, show that you've got forces, you got numbers, and you are there because you're upset with the way the system is being manipulated and run and corrupted. And what happens? The guerrilla tactics, they embed people in there and they start. And are there some crazy people that may have also caused problems? Yes. There are going to be crazy people on both ends of the spectrum. So it was really well thought out from the guerrilla standpoint tactic, because they knew that. They knew that if they had some bad apples in there, that there would be a certain percentage, albeit small, of the other group that would join in with them, and they were right. And then that's where you get the argument, well, that's why we can't be violent. We can't, because they'll just use that against us. Well, if we had anybody in the federal government that was actually on our side, I mean, if you think about it, there are a few. I mean, the Matt Gaetzes of the world and the Marjorie Taylor Greens, and people like that. But we're outnumbered. I mean, it's just, which is scary as hell. The federal government, when you get up in there, they hate, and as they always said, and Donald Trump said this on more than one occasion, they're not after him, they were after us. I mean, Donald Trump is one of the uber wealthy. He's set. He doesn't have to worry. He's got lawyers, guns, and money, and he can take care of himself. The rest of us, we ain't so lucky. We may have a couple of the things, but there's nobody in D.C. that I don't think. Again, the law of averages says there are a few up there, but for the most part, I don't think they give a crap. They want to hold on to their power, their money, just like the...
too many perks of the job.
Right. I don't, and at some point, this is going to get ugly. But, or, it's funny, the after show conversation yesterday between our director of global security and myself, we were discussing, and we were talking about the attack from Mars or Yellowstone events that would possibly be altering what we are dealing with in reality. Yellowstone would, I don't know which would be better. Yellowstone would knock us back into the Stone Age almost. There would be enough infrastructure and loss of life. I mean, it would be significant, and it would probably reduce the size of the country to by 2/3, maybe more.
Maybe.
And
I've
then,
never been there, actually.
If you just
how big that explosion would be.
you watch some of the computer simulations, and it's not so much the lava right there. It's the cloud of ash and everything, and it's that goes out. It spreads for a ways, but the infrastructure, the water, supply chain, forget about it. Or if you get the attack from Mars, or what's his name? Gnork from Fenork? Mork from Fenork.
Mork.
If you have that attack, but then as Dave said yesterday to me, we were talking. He says, "Yeah, but after they attack, there's going to be certain alliances that will be created on Earth, and then you'll have the same situation. You'll get Colony, or the show Colony." And there were a certain number or a certain segment of the population, the ruling elite, who start negotiating with the aliens, and suddenly they're in the nice houses, and the rest of us, the great unwashed, are all out there on the street trying to find scraps to eat, and we've got them we're under their thumb, all 4 of the thumbs that they have on each hand. So maybe it would be the Yellowstone thing would be our best hope. Because
that's the quicker end, I think.
Well, it would force a complete rebuilding of I would think, the government, wouldn't it? I mean, well, no, what if all of DC survives? Knock out the flyover country, all the good, honest, hard-working folk.
Mm-hmm.
And then DC survives. God, that would be the ultimate irony, wouldn't it? Telling you, it's really, really frustrating. Really frustrating. Don't forget what we're dealing with here is far, because you're going to hear the stories about. There was one today. Cook Children's Hospital is making the extraordinary move to postpone all elective surgeries. And officials at the pediatric hospital in Fort Worth also urge patients to get their eligible children vaccinated. They say that half of patients since the Pfizer vaccine was okayed for kids 12 and up have been unvaccinated teens. And if you start looking at the numbers, the problem again is we're getting lied to regarding numbers. There was a study that just came out that said essentially possibly more than half of the numbers that we're hearing about, COVID infections and hospitalized people are either mild or asymptomatic. Because again, you go in for one thing, you go in for a tonsillectomy, you get the test, and test positive. Guess what? You're a COVID case. Just do your own investigation. Find out, and good luck, by the way. Find out what the real numbers are. And don't let these a-holes scare you. If you want the vaccine, get the vaccine. Get it. Did you see the story about and it's on the CDC's website, the Afghan refugees that we're bringing in here? See what they are having.
They're required to have?
Ivermectin. Horse dewormer. Now, granted, it's not for COVID-19, but the point is, you got all these stories when Joe Rogan is taking, it's a horse dewormer. You're going to have people poisoning themselves. because, horse dewormer. You can't have horse dewormer. And yet we are requiring that these refugees get horse dewormer prior to being admitted to the United States. Well, that's for parasite. I don't care what it's for. You're still saying, have you just got done screaming at the top of your lungs that people were going to be dying from taking a horse dewormer? That, you can't. And now it's just more evidence of the hypocrisy and the lying. And that's what's, I guess, really got me is the fact that you can't trust a damn thing anymore. You can't trust anything. There's nothing. You've got to check sources 14 ways from Sunday. If you find anything you think is a fact, look for it in at least 2 other places. Every time the president opens his mouth, not only does babble come out, but lies, verifiable lies. I'm telling you, it's just really, is it not accelerating?
The lies? No. The pissing off the American public is accelerating. He's getting more bold. That's the thing that we're seeing. Now, is he getting more bold or is he being told, all right, it's time to start putting a little pressure here and there?
What is that? One of the congressmen I saw was demanding to know who keeps telling
who is running the show.
Yeah,
that's right.
And who keeps telling the president not to take questions, which is the question I had a long time ago. Yeah. Who is it? Every time he says, "Oh, can't take questions, I'll get in trouble."
Yeah, I'm supposed to be here, or I'm supposed
to.
Who the
Fanork is telling you what to do?
All of his advisors. Come on, Brad.
You're the president. I don't know if you checked or not, but if you're the president, supposedly you're in charge of the people. But no, I mean, we know what's going on. That's the bottom line. And in summation, I'd like to say, don't let the bastards get you down, even though you just heard 2 hours of reasons for the bastards to get you down. But let's just all stick together. And everybody, I don't care what letter you've got next to your name, but if you want freedom and you'd like to make your own decisions about your own life, let's start there as a mutual goal and try to climb out of this shit show, clown world.
What do you mean it's let's go?
There you go. There's 2 hours of reasons to go drink.
Early.
I'm considering shooting up that marijuana stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
Start shooting that up, right? 2 hours of your Daily Mojo for Friday, the 17th of September, 2021. See if any of the lessons stuck. Ron, you? Good for you.
No.
It's great. I can't, yeah.
The lesson about YouTube sucking.
We've known that for a while. And by the way, remember, if you are missing our YouTube channel, there might be another one that you can search for and find, and we're there. Night to say knee. I'm old enough to remember when Doc Thompson was on YouTube. I was so young. See? Time flies when you're having fun. Beef in the SAV, if Mars attacks, we'll all be okay until they break into the Capitol building. Then the left will mentally melt down and start a hashtag campaign to defeat the Martians. I'm telling you, if it turns out that it's Slim Whitman records that defeat the Martians.
Slim Whitman records.
Uh-huh. Alan Trotter, next week, Cal will review the Daily Mojo podcast on the Daily Mojo.
Oh, I can't wait for that review.
That's a good idea.
That'll be fun.
Note. Let's be frank in PA, and sorry I missed you when you came through town, buddy. Shall we take horse dewormer? Nay, I say, nay. That's hard to do. The Gear Bear, new Bud Light next slogan. Have you seen one? Thank you. Have you seen one? You know what they call a Bud Light next? Have you seen one? Doesn't work.
Paul Lynn.
It doesn't work with anything
but
that
that
one
was?
word.
Paul Lynn? Yeah.
You couldn't tell?
No, I couldn't remember his name.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Jamie over in the Facebook chat room, I learned that Biden wants us to pay your fair share. Oh, that just pisses me off every time I think about it. And Debbie says, okay, boys, thank you for a great show. Who's she talking to?
Boys.
What great show? Huh. All right. Let's see here. Coming up next over most of these Mojo 50 radio stations, it is the encore broadcast of Abnormal Realities where Ron is naked.
No, I'm not naked, but we did talk about psychic abilities and phone calls from the dead last night. It was kind of cool.
Psychic, like being able to undress people with your brain?
Yeah, that.
I like that. Remember, your Daily Mojo is made possible by Ron Phillips with all 5 thumbs on one hand, spinning the dials radio style. I don't know what that means. Remember, the smallest minority on earth is the individual. Those who deny individual rights cannot claim to be defenders of minorities. 6 Semper Tyrannis, resist stupid, and good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are, have a good weekend.
The bell count's coming your way.
Yeah, I've got to run. Sorry, bud. Love you.
Look, kids, your daddy's leaving you.
Yeah, love you.
Fine. You just go.
All right.
You just go. Get out of here. Leave. Some people's kids.
Good morning, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with the bell count for the Daily Mojo for Friday, September 17th, 2021. Today there were 6 missed innuendo bells for beat-offs, lick it, eat
Whoa.
it, 15 actual bells, and a boing. Peace out, boys. Stay healthy, and we'll talk to you in 2 days.
Sure you will. And now, without further ado,
Wampum.
see, I always thought this was something different.
Wampum.
The noun, it is cylindrical beads made from shells. That's wampum. I always thought it was something the Indians paid you, heap big wampum. I may be wrong about that.
That is a wrap.
All right, kids, be well, be safe, and don't let the bastards get you down.